This video is brought to you by Squarespace, your all-in-one solution to get your website or store online today. Hi-ho, guys and gals, it's Radio for Labor Tool Bear back again here in the old den of tools, and today we're going to answer the question of what is the best DIY to prosumer grade power tool system out there. And I mean, we have got the data this time. I kid you not. You're going to want to sit back, relax, maybe grab some popcorn for this one because the bear has done the deep dive on this. So let's jump into it. As I said, this is one of the biggest questions we get. What's the best DIYer tool system? And I think that, we spend too much time talking about how much money it is because the reality is some people are more, and I think a lot of people are more interested in how many power tools there are in that system. Now we're talking cordless tools because we're not talking corded, because with corded you can mix and match and do whatever you want. So just cordless, and we're not really focusing on money. Money is a factor, but we're going to allow you to change how that weighs in because maybe you've got small needs. Maybe you have great needs. Maybe, going with Milwaukee is what you would consider, for your prosumer grade because you've got the money to throw at that solution. Well, the bear nerded out on this one. Oh my gosh, I spent weeks pulling this data and sitting down at the computer and finding ways to crunch this data. And yeah, I went spreadsheet dough on this. There is so much data here. We've got it all, everything you would want in all sorts of easy to manage kind of ways. I've got a link down below in the video description to this spreadsheet. You can make your own copy of the spreadsheet and you can change all the values. I've set it up pretty easily so you can just change a value and say like, hey, I think the drill is way more important. It should be worth 1,000 points, and you can end that, and it changes it across the board. Of course, that's ridiculous. No one's going to do that. Anyway, also, just so you know, we're talking 18 to 24 volt systems here. So, but we did include 40 or 36 and 40 volt tools because if they fit the form factor of dual battery, because you're still really actually in that 18 to 24 volt system, you're just using two of the batteries, and that doesn't really take you into another system. Also, there was some back and forth with like some tools like, hey, this is a rotary tool and this is a rotary tool. Does it have to have both? Does it have to have one or the other? Well, we weighted it in as long as it's got one of these, as long as it kind of fits the category, it fits the category. We did not include tools that were kind of, or really obscure. Yeah, no coffee makers are in there, no cordless chainsaw sharpeners, no offset metal shears, and no home PEX equipment. I mean, and then of course, most of the Works line. I mean, seriously, folks, they just get silly with some of this stuff. And I will be honest, you may find something the bear missed. I almost missed this one. I was looking for one-handed recips, and I looked at it. It looked like electric scissors or shears to me. It doesn't say recip anywhere, and as you're going through crunching all this data and you're moving on, your brain gets to be a bit mush, and I almost missed it. So if you find out the bear missed something there, let me know down in the comments. By the way, if you don't know who Einhell is, the bear's got a big surprise for you at the very end of the video. We're going to cover that. And I think you're going to be stunned who this is because I thought they were just an Amazon company like all the others, and they're not. So let's jump into it and let's take a look at the spreadsheet and see what is going on. So here we go. We're going to start off now. First of all, in the core group, let me get up here to the core group. Drill, impact driver, circ saw, recip saw, jigsaw, orbital sander, grinder, and hammer drill. 320 points. Each one of those was worth 40 points. The only brand here that did not have a perfect score was Metabo HPT. Metabo, much like the bear, believes that all sanders should be corded. Anyway, so no orbital sander there, at least not in the cordless line for Metabo HPT, at least not that they're currently selling. If there's a lot of, out-of-date kind of stuff. If they used to have something, but they no longer sell it anymore, you can't get it. It didn't get included in this list. All right, so let's go back to DeWalt. And then the second tier, we have multi-tools, run-handed recips, trim routers, detail sanders, belt sanders, sheet sanders, right-angle drill, heat gun, planer, workshop blower, rotary hammer, miter saw, bandsaw, drywall screw gun, rotary cutting tool, die grinder, caulk gun, fan, tire inflator, high-volume inflator, dual inflator, glue gun, radio, Bluetooth speaker, brad nailer, finish nailer, crown stapler, air compressor, spotlight, and floodlight. Oh, that's a whole bunch. Total score available there is 320 points. Under that, we had automotive, which is half-inch impact, 3/8 impact, ratchet, polisher, buffer, and grease gun. Total score there is 80 points. Then we had cleaning, Hand vac, wet dry vac, and household vac, 30 points is the score there. Outdoor power equipment, OP, that's what that stands for. We have lawnmower, string trimmer, hedge trimmer, leaf blower, pole saw, chainsaw, sprayer, power washer, drain snake, transfer pump, and even heated jackets. Total best score there is 150. Battery tech, we have base chargers, fast chargers, multi-chargers, standard batteries 1 to 3 amp hours, medium batteries 4 to 6 amp hours, large cap batteries 7 to 9 amp hours, and stupidly large, yes, that is an industry term, 10 plus amp hours. We also include USB adapters and inverters. Perfect score there is 100 points. All right. So let's jump into it. Let's talk about the second tier here, because this is where things we start thinning out the herd. DeWalt did pretty good here. Okay, they don't have a belt sander. All right, they don't have a tire inflator. They don't have a high volume inflator. They don't have a glue gun down here. They're missing the glue gun. Let's see what else they're missing. I think that's it. They scored 295 on the second tier. Automotive, they knocked it out of the park. 80 points in automotive. Cleaning, they don't have the household vac, so they only got 20 points. OPE, they have everything except for the sprayer and the transfer pump, scoring 140. Battery tech, they've got everything except for the inverter, scoring 95 points, or a total score of 950 points. Let's see here. I think the perfect score is around 1,000 or something like that. Anyway, Milwaukee is up next. Let's see how Milwaukee handles this. So Milwaukee M18, they got, of course, perfect score up in the core second tier. Now these point values, you will be able to change them on your spreadsheet. I ranked the multi-tool at 30 points because it's almost a core tool, but not quite. But it does so many jobs. It's one of those kind of in-betweens. Everything else is between 20 and 5 points. So the one-handed recip, they had that. They don't have the detail sander. They don't have the belt sander. They don't have a sheet sander. What else are they missing here? They are missing the tire inflator and in fact, all the inflators, because they put that over into the 12-volt system. So if you're not in the 12-volt system, you don't get a tire inflator, a high-volume inflator, or a dual inflator. They scored 255 on the second tier. Automotive, of course, they scored an 80. You knew they would. Cleaning, they scored a 30. Perfect score. They got the hand vac, the wet dry, and the household vac. OPE, they did really well, but they don't have that lawnmower, at least not yet. They've talked about a lawnmower. They've shown pictures of a lawnmower. You can't go out and buy the lawnmower. And if you can't buy it, then it doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned. And if you think that hurt Milwaukee, it hurt a bunch of other, brands, especially the newer ones, hurt them a lot more. Shut up, Moto. Nobody wants to hear from you. Go back to your corner. Power washer. Now power washer is like your portable pressure washer kind of thing. They don't have one of those. And the heated jackets are only in the M12, so they don't get a point for that. So they scored 115 out of possible 150. Battery tech, they were going to score a perfect score there. So they scored 900 overall. Next up, we got Rigid, they're Milwaukee's little brother. Let's see how Rigid did in this. All right, so let's see what they got in the core score here. 320 points, of course, as we talked about. In Tier 2, they did pretty good. They don't have a detail sander. They don't have a heat gun. They don't have a die grinder. They don't have the high volume inflator or the dual inflator. No glue gun and no crown stapler. So 265 is their score on that one. As far as automotive, I thought they were going to do better than this, but only scoring, 50 points here. They don't have the ratchet, the polisher, the buffer. They do have the grease gun and the 2 impacts. Cleaning, they got 2 out of the 3. No household vac there for 20 points. OPE, really bad for them. 20 points. They got a leaf blower, and that's it, guys. That's all they have. Battery tech, they did pretty good. They have everything except for a large cap battery and the stupidly large battery. Also, no inverter, surprisingly enough. 80 points, scoring a total of 755. I'm hoping you're learning a lot about this, and it's giving you some ideas. And speaking of ideas, let's talk about Squarespace. Squarespace is your best and probably easiest solution for setting up your online presence today. Really, all you got to do is answer a short list of questions like this. And they're just asking what you want to get from your website, and faster than a squirrel on Red Bull, boom, it'll give you a list of templates that you can go through and be like, okay, this is what I want my online presence to look like. And for those of you looking to maybe take that hobby of yours and turn it into, a business so that maybe it pays for itself and all that, Squarespace's e-commerce tools have everything you need to get your business off the ground. Tools like, stuff that seems simple, but you really need inventory management so you know what you have, an easy checkout process as per my first rule of business, which is never make it hard for people to give you money. And then secure payments so your customers can have that warm fuzzy feeling when it's time to enter all those digits. Bonus round on this, you can also buy your domain directly through Squarespace when you set up the whole thing up. There's no hidden fees or price hikes or anything. Each domain comes with an ad-free parking page and a free who is page on eligible domains. Trust me when I say that is a feature you will appreciate. So check out squarespace.com today for your free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/thedenofTools and save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Now we're going to get to what most people consider to be the king of DIY, and that, of course, is ye old Ryobi. Well, there we go. So Ryobi gets 320 on the second tier. They have it all. Automotive, 80 out of 80. Cleaning, 30 out of 30. OPE, 145 out of 150. The only thing they're missing here is they don't have heated jackets. And I can't imagine carrying one of those Ryobi batteries in a heated jacket, so that's not surprising. Battery tech, they did pretty good on the battery tech. 95 out of 100, only missing out on the stupidly large battery category. So all in all, they scored, I think, the highest of anybody, scoring 990 points. So if you're just looking for somebody who has everything you need, I've kind of given you the answer right there. It's going to be Ryobi. That said, let's move along because the second tier, or at least the second tier, the number two, often saying they're number one, goes back and forth between Makita and Ryobi as to who has the most tools. So let's see if they have the tools for the DIY, the homeowner, if you would. Of course, they got perfect score in the core tech. They're missing out in the detail sander, the belt sander, the sheet sander. I found that's pretty common with a lot of the construction grade tools. Heat gun, they don't have that one. The inflators, they don't have a high volume inflator. They don't have a dual inflator. They don't have a glue gun. Giving them 255 out of a 320. Automotive, perfect score in automotive. Cleaning, perfect score in cleaning. OPE, now OPE, I think they are missing the drain snake. They've got everything else. So that's 145 on that one. Battery tech, they got 80. They don't have a large capacity or a stupidly large capacity battery currently. Have they had large capacity batteries in the past? Maybe, but there's nothing you can go out and buy right now that's going to make that. So they got a total score of 910. Let's see what Craftsman can do. Of course, they got the 320 in the core. On the second tier, no one-handed recip, no trim router. We're missing a bunch of stuff in the middle here. No bandsaw, no drywall gun, no rotary cutting tool, no die grinder, no caulk gun, no tire inflator, no high volume inflator, no glue gun. Scoring 240, kind of an average score in there. Automotive, they did pretty good. They're missing a polisher and they're missing a grease gun. Cleaning, they got 30 points out of 30, so they're doing well there. OPE, they did pretty well, not having the drain snake, the transfer pump, or the heated jackets. Basically, they have all the standard stuff, not just kind of the outliers there. They did have a power washer and a sprayer. That's nice. So scoring 135 here in the outdoor power equipment. As far as battery tech, they did pretty good. They have everything except for the stupidly large battery and the inverter. So they're scoring 90 points there for a total of 875. They did remarkably well. I was honestly surprised with how well they did. Now let's see how Cobalt holds up to this. Cobalt is one that we often recommend for the prosumer to DIYer kind of types. And of course, they got the full score in the core group. In the second tier, they did pretty good. Sheet sander, they're missing out on. Bandsaw, they're missing out on. Glue gun, they don't have. Radio, they don't have. They don't have a crown stapler or an air compressor. Now, going into automotive, they don't have the buffer or the grease gun. That's kind of a shame there. So they only get 60 points there. By the way, they got 225 in the second tier. All right, coming into cleaning, all they got is the wet dry vac. So they only got 10 points out of a possible 30. OPE, they did pretty well on, just missing the outliers there. No drain snake, no transfer pump, and no heated jackets. Battery tech, they did pretty well on. No fast charger, no large cap battery, no stupidly large cap battery, and no inverter. 70 points out of 100. So that gives Cobalt a total score of 820 points. Now, of course, their sister company is Skills, also made by Shervan, and also sold at Lowe's. So let's take a look at 320 points there, of course, for the core. For the second tier, They did okay. They're missing out on some stuff. The trim router, the belt sander, the sheet sander, the right angle, they're missing out on that. And then we get into a big blank spot here. No miter saw, no bandsaw, drywall, rotary, die grinder, caulk gun, fan, tire inflator, high volume inflator. They do have a dual inflator. That's nice. No glue gun, no radio. They do have a speaker though. And then again, we also have like no nailers, no crown stapler. We got the spotlights and the floodlights. So 155 out of 320 there. Automotive, they did not do well, and they have one. They have a half-inch impact. That's it. 20 points there. As far as cleaning, though, cleaning, again, only one thing here. They have a hand vac. They get 10 points. Outdoor power equipment, they did better in. Everything up to the chainsaw they have. Sprayer, power washer, drain snake, transfer pump, and heated jackets are not showing up. 120 points total. Battery tech, they did about the same as the Cobalt there. They're missing out on the multi-charger, the large cap, the stupidly large cap, and the inverter, getting 70 points for a total of 695. Now Bosch. Bosch is one of the big players, okay? They are one of the biggest tool companies in the entire world. Let's see how they scored. Of course, perfect in the core. Getting in that second tier, they're missing the trim router, they're missing the belt sander, the heat gun, the rotary cutting tool, no fan, no tire inflator, no high volume inflator, no dual inflator, no glue gun. They got a radio, no speakers, no nailers, no crown staplers, no air compressor, scoring 210 out of 320. Automotive, I thought they'd do better here. They've got the impact wrench, they've got the 3/8, the half-inch and the 3/8 impact, no ratchet, no polisher, no buffer, no grease gun, 40 points. Cleaning, they got all three, 30 points there. Outdoor power equipment, nada. Just nothing. 0 out of 150. They do sell some stuff in Europe. It's not available in the States. You may be able to get a gray market over here, but you're not going to just walk out and buy it. Battery tech, they did better, having everything except for the inverter there. They've got it all, 95 points for a total score of 695. Now, next up is Metabo HPT, which of course is one of the brands that the Bear's been saying that people are really sleeping on. So let's see how they scored. 280, of course, they're missing the orbital sander. Of course, when we get to the second tier, sanders are again a problem for them. No detail, no belt, no sheet sander, no heat gun as well. No drywall screw gun, believe it or not. No rotary tool, no caulk gun, no inflators whatsoever of any kind. No glue gun, no radio, no speaker at all. They don't care about your tunes. Bring your own. Crown stapler, they do have some nailers. No crown stapler, believe it or not. No air compressor, scoring 205 out of 320. Automotive, again, they've got the impact wrenches, and that's it, 40 out of 80. Cleaning, believe it or not, they nailed it with cleaning. 10, 10, and 10. They got all three of them. OPE was mostly missed with some hits. Believe it or not, they have a lawnmower. There is a string trimmer. There is a hedge trimmer, and there is a chainsaw. That's it. 80 points out of 150. Battery tech, they did a lot better on. Only missing out on the stupidly large battery, the USB adapter, and the inverter for an 85 out of 100, scoring 720 total. All right, next up, we've got the Ryobi's close brother here, or cousin, however you want to call it. And that, of course, is Heart. Sold over at Walmart. Of course, made by TTI. Of course, they got the 320 in the core. Let's see how they do in the second tier. Again, this is a growing brand, so they have stuff coming, but a lot of it's not out yet. No one-handed recip, no trim, no detail sander, no belt sander, no sheet sander, no right angle, no heat gun, no planer. Really, folks? They have a workshop blower, no rotary hammer, no miter saw, no bandsaw, no drywall screw gun, no caulk gun for you. Oh, what else we got here? Bluetooth speaker they don't have. They do have a radio. No brad nailer, no finish nailer, but they have a crown stapler? Go figure. 140 points out of 320. Automotive, they actually nailed it on automotive. 80 points. How? They did it. Cleaning, 30 points. You knew that was going to happen. OPE, this is one of their strong suits. What don't they have? They don't have a drain snake. They don't have a transfer pump. Scoring 140 out of 150. Battery tech, they did surprisingly well. They have everything except for the large cap battery, the stupid large cap battery. Everything else they got, 85 points out of 100 with a total score of 795. 795. Wow. All right, next up, we're going over to Menards. You know, if you don't know, Menards is the third largest hardware store in the U.S. They have their own Shervon brand, Masterforce. Let's see what they did in the second tier. All right, we're missing the trim router, the detail sander, the belt sander, the sheet sander. Oh my gosh, the right angle drill they got. And then another blank for heat gun, planer, workshop blower, rotary hammer, miter saw. I know, bear with me here. Drywall screw gun, rotary cutting tool, no die grinder, no caulking tool. Oh my gosh. No inflators. They do have a dual inflator, so at least they have that. That's why the dual inflator's worth 10. The other two are only worth 5. No glue gun, no Bluetooth speaker. They do have a radio, no no nailers, no crown staplers. They do have the lights though, so you're scoring 140 out of 320. Automotive, they got 2 of them. They got the impact wrenches and that's it, 40 out of 80. Cleaning, they got the wet dry vac, that's it, 10 out of 30. OPE, more misses than hits here. They got the string trimmer, the hedge trimmer, the leaf blower, and the power washing missing everything else, 70 out of 150. Battery tech, not doing too bad. They don't have a multi-charger, and they don't have a stupidly large battery, but they got everything else. 85 out of 100, scoring 665. Now we're going to get out of the big boys. We're going to get into some of the smaller kind of stuff. We're over at Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight, if you don't know, is the 4th largest tool store in the U.S., and their Bauer brand, Hercules brand, did not come close. We had a minimum score. You had to get at least be, as they say, you have to be at least this high to go on the ride, and they did not make it, along with many other brands. So don't feel bad. But the Bauer brand certainly did. Perfect score in the core. Let's see how they did on the tier 2. No multi-tool yet. No one-handed reset yet. And no trim router yet. Again, these are tools we hear are coming, but they're not here. But that's why you can edit your sheet yourself. And again, we'll show you at the end of the video how to do that. So if you want to say, yeah, but I know they're coming down the pipe, you can add that in, but we didn't hear. No belt sander, no rotary hammer, at least not in cordless, no miter saw yet, no bandsaw yet, no drywall screw gun, no rotary cutting tool, no die grinder. Now they do have a drywall screw gun, but it's not cordless, so that doesn't count. No caulk gun, no Bluetooth speaker. They do have a radio, no finish nailer, no crown stapler. Getting 175 out of 320. Not terribly bad. Automotive, they did pretty good here, scoring 60 out of 80, missing the ratchet and missing the grease gun. Again, the grease gun, as we've seen, it's coming, but it's not here yet, folks. No points if it's not on shelves. Cleaning, they scored 20 out of 30, doing everything except for the household vac. OPE, no lawnmower. I did talk to Harbor Freight, and I got a shmaybe response as to whether there would be a lawnmower. He didn't think so, but shmaybe. Anyway, they got everything else except for a power washer and no heated jacket, scoring 115 out of 150. By the way, I was told flat out by several people, heated outerwear will never happen over at Harbor Freight. They just, the big guy doesn't like the stuff. It's too much of an issue for him. Anyway, battery tech, they did okay, scoring the same as Skill and Cobalt at 70 points. No multi-charger yet. No large cap battery yet. No stupidly large cap battery yet. No inverter. Oh my gosh. Come on, folks. 70 out of 100 with a total score of 760. Not terrible. All right, now Works. Now, Works is an interesting brand. They're known for trying things out and doing a lot of different stuff, but they've really grown the brand over the years. They got 320 for core. So let's see what they do in the second tier. No trim router, no sanders. They have a detail sander, but no belt sander, no sheet sander, no planer. No rotary hammer, no miter saw, no bandsaw, no drywall, no die grinder, no caulk gun, no high voltage inflator, or high volume inflator, no dual inflator. They do have the tire inflator. No radio. They do have a speaker, don't they? Nope, no speaker. I take it back. No radio. Your ears are not their problem. Finish nailer they don't have, but they do have a brad nailer and they do have a crown stapler. No air compressor. Scoring 175. Not terrible. Not terrible out of 320. As far as automotive, that was kind of terrible. They've got a 1/2-inch impact and they've got a buffer, 30 points. Cleaning, they've got a wet dry vac, 10 points. OPE, now OPE, they kind of crushed it here. They have everything except for a transfer pump and heated jacket, scoring 140. As far as battery tech, they did pretty good. Check that out. They got 80 points. No inverter and no large cap or stupidly large cap. Doing pretty good. Total score is 755. I was surprised. Einhell, which is the sleeper we did not know about. Stay tuned towards the end because I got to tell you about these guys. I'm a little excited about them. Anyway, they're a growing brand. All right, so cut them some slack. They are the lowest scoring brand that still qualified for this video. Okay, we cut a lot of other brands out. So they're missing a trim router, they're missing a belt sander, sheet sander, right angle, heat gun, planer, bandsaw. What else are they missing? Rotary tool, die grinder, caulk gun, fan, tire inflator, high voltage, high volume inflator, radio, Bluetooth speaker, no nailers. They have an air compressor. They also have a chainsaw sharpener, but that didn't make this list. And no lights, oddly enough. Automotive, meh. They have a 1/2-inch impact, no 3/8. They have no ratchet, but they do have a polisher and they do have a buffer, no grease gun. Cleaning, they've got 2 of the 3, no household vac. OPE, they did pretty good on OPE, all the way up to chainsaws. They don't have a sprayer, they don't have a power washer, no drain snake. They do have a transfer pump, no heated jacket, scoring 125. I was surprised. Battery tech, not the greatest. They've got a base charger, they've got a multi-charger, they've got a standard cap battery, and that's it. They have a 1.5 and a 3. There's nothing bigger than that. They have a USB adapter, though, 50 points for a total score of 661. Now let's talk about some of the numbers and how these all pan out. Okay, so here's where the bear got really creative with some of this stuff, okay? So we've got, on the green line over here, you've got their total overall score. And of course, as I said before, Ryobi nailed it, 990 points. They are in first place for just base score. But then there's some other factors that kind of weigh into it. Do they have brushless tools? How available are the tools? What's the trust level of these tools? What's the cost level of these tools? And then I also added in a category for X factor. Now I didn't enter a value in for X factor because that's what you get to add in. You get to say what your X factor is. Maybe it's like, hey, are they near my house? You could put that in. You could say, I don't like the color red. So you can give it a negative score for anybody who is red. That's up to you. But basically, if they have a significant amount of brush tools, of course, the baseline is 1. That just keeps the score the same. If they have a significant amount, they get a boost up to 1.1, so adding 10% to their score. Only one brand got better than 1.1. They got 1.2, and that, of course, is Cobalt. Anybody know why? Raise your hands. Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? Yes, it's because everything Cobalt makes is brushless. Even the lights are brushless. I know, I checked, I took one apart. Not a single brush in there, I looked. Everything they do is 24-volt brushless tools, so they get an extra boost. You don't like it on your spreadsheet, you can change it. Look at that, isn't it a democracy in action? All right, so basically, DeWalt got 1.1, Milwaukee got 0.1, they got a boost, Rigid, Ryobi, Makita, Craftsman, Skill got a boost, Bosch got a boost, Metabo HPT, Hart, Masterforce. The ones that didn't get a boost, Bauer, Works, and Einhell. Einhell does have some brushless stuff, but not a significant amount, not enough. I think I was looking at 10 to 20, like I had to break 20% of their available tools to count as getting a brushless boost, and they didn't make that. Now, availability multiplier. This one is where it gets kind of weird. One is standard availability. Like I looked at Craftsman. Craftsman is available at Lowe's, but it's also available at Ace. It's available online. There's a lot of other stores that are starting to carry it, little mom and pop kind of stores. So there's a lot of places that are available. Now, who's more available than Craftsman? Well, there's some that are and some that aren't. DeWalt. DeWalt is the only brand that is available at both of the big juggernaut stores. That is Home Depot and Lowe's. They both sell DeWalt. You can buy DeWalt online. You can buy DeWalt at a lot of mom and pop stores and small chain stores and stuff like that. DeWalt scores a 1.1 on this. Milwaukee gets a 0.9. Why? You can't get it at Lowe's. You can't buy it at most regional stores. There are some places that do carry Milwaukee. Some of the smaller chain stores, you can get it at some Ace stores. You can buy it online, but often when you're buying it online, you're not buying it from a factory, authorized provider. So they get 0.9. Rigid gets 0.8 because there's even less places to get Rigid. Ryobi gets 0.8 because there's less places to get Ryobi. Makita, 0.9 because Makita can be kind of hard to get, let's be honest. Cobalt, 0.8. They're in the same box as Rigid and Ryobi. One main store carries them. That's about it. Skill gets a one because there's a lot of places that are carrying Skill. You can get it online. We see it on Amazon all the time. Lots of places to get that. Bosch, huge company, but much in the same kind of situation that Makita's in, where it can be hard to get all their tools. 0.9. Metabo, HPT, 0.9. Hart, 1. Now you can say, well, Hart's only available at one store, but that store is huge. That's the 900-pound gorilla that is going to whomp you. They've got as many stores as Lowe's and Home Depot combined. They get a 1. Sorry. Masterforce, great store. Menards is a great store. I love Menards, but they're only in one part of the country, that kind of central Midwest-ish kind of area. And yeah, you can order them online, but you don't get the full value. They get a 0.8. They're in that same realm as Ryobi and Rigid and some of the other ones. Bauer, 0.8. You can only get it at Harbor Freight. Yeah, there's a lot of Harbor Freights. They're all over the place. You can get it from Harbor Freight online, but that's it. They get a 0.8. Who else we got here? And then we get into the other ones, which is Works, which is 0.9, pretty much online only. That's the only place you can get it. Can't go to a store. Same with Einhell. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it from Sanjo, but that's it. So you're kind of, out of luck if you want to shop somewhere else. Trust multiplier. I think you know what that means. DeWalt gets a 1.1. Rigid gets a 1 because they have some issues with the LSA. Sorry, folks, a lot of the Rigid fanboys just lose their mind. They're like, well, you're just a Rigid hater. I started with Rigid tools. I talked about Rigid tools. Rigid earned that. I'm not just hating on Rigid to hate on Rigid. They're the ones who are having a problem. If you read all the comments in any of my Rigid videos, you will see lots of people backing me up on that. Don't be a fanboy. Be a smart bear about it. Tool bears don't fanboy over stuff. They may like stuff, but they know at the end of the day, it's where the rubber hits the road that matters. Ryobi gets a 1.2. They're one of the few ones that get that higher level of trust. Why? They have a huge selection of tools, and they have the battery that's been around the longest. You may even want to give them a bonus higher than that because they made a promise to stick with that battery, and they've done it, unlike pretty much everybody else. Makita, however, the largest flat pack style battery system in the world, they get a 1.2. They are the only one of the few tool companies out here where they don't have a parent company. They are the parent company. So they're not going to get tossed around or sold to somebody else or done something because Makita is Makita. So they get a 1.2. Craftsman gets a 1 because, well, Craftsman. Cobalt gets a 1.1 because of the quality of their tools and how many people just absolutely have tried them and used them and loved them. Anyway, we can go through. You can read the rest of the scores. Bosch gets a 1.2. Metabo HPT gets a 1.2. Hart gets a 1. They're new. Yeah, they're TTI, but they're still new. We don't know what Walmart's going to do. Masterforce gets a 1. Bauer gets a 1. Works gets a 0.9. Why? Because Works changes stuff all the time. Einhell, we've never even heard of these folks. We don't really know who they are. We're going to talk about it, but right now they're at a 0.8. And then cost multiplier. Well, the budget ones get a 0.1 boost or 10% boost because they're cheap. The expensive tools like, Bosch and DeWalt and Milwaukee, they're at 0.9 because they're expensive. The ones that are kind of in the middle, Craftsman, Cobalt, and such, they're just at a 1 because that's normal. And the X factor, you can change that to be what you want. So let's see what the rankings, where we end up. Here you go. This is tab 2 here on the spreadsheet. We have first row is overall total. Next row is with the brushless multiplier. Then we have the availability multiplier. Then we've got the trust multiplier, the cost multiplier, and the X factor. Oh my gosh, I told you the bear's brain oozed out his ears. One thing with this, you are going to have to sort these yourself if you make changes. I tried to figure out how to do auto sorting. I could do it in Excel. I can't figure it out in Google Docs or Google Sheets here. If you are a Google Sheets expert, email me at, I'll even type it on screen here, red@denoftools.com. Why did the chomp the like button come up? I guess you're supposed to chomp the like button. There you go, folks. Just so you don't know, the computer did that on its own. Weird. Anyway, red@denoftools.com. Email me if you know how to make these things auto-sorting, if you want to work with me. And you can take a copy of the spreadsheet and you can fix it, and then I'll upload it as the main, I'll change the link, and then we'll have that going forward. That would be great. Otherwise, what you have to do is you have to highlight, once you change the values over here, and you can change these values, you can come back here and sort them, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So overall total with no biasness, if you want to call it, that's my bias, with none of my bias on it, That's the points right there. But it still has my bias because, you know, I'm the one who set these point values. So set your own point values. There you go. And basically, what I've done here is I've given you a tool so you can figure this out for yourself. These are my valuations, and if you trust what the bear says, then maybe they're your valuations. But if you're going to be, you know, hey, I lean this way, or I lean that way, or I have different needs, then by all means change your needs, because you know the one thing the bear always cringes about is when people say, what's the best? And our response is always, the best what? The best for home, the best for mobile, the best for budget, the best. Here you go. Here's your tool. All right, so overall total, $990. Ryobi in first place, DeWalt in second, Makita in third, Milwaukee in fourth, Craftsman, Cobalt, Hart, Bauer, Works, Rigid, Metabo, HPT. That limited lineup really hurt them. The Skill 20 volt, again, being a newer lineup. Good quality tools, great prices, great options, especially when they're on sale on Amazon. But, you know, maybe you want to change the way that gets weighed. Bosch just really not, that outdoor power equipment really just kicked him right in the teeth. Masterforce down at 6, and Einhell being the newest kid on the block, starting down at 661. Brushless changes things up a little bit, doesn't it? Yeah, Cobalt jumps up there with that brushless bonus. And then let's see here. Bauer takes a real hard dive, being one of the few ones there that doesn't have it. They would have been ranked much higher there, the dropping down. Works, Masterforce, I know that brushless one hurting a lot of them also. Availability, that's another one that changes things up again. That DeWalt availability really put them back up on top. The trust multiplier kept them there. Cost multiplier kicked them off the hill, and Ryobi is back on top. At the end of the day, if cost is a factor for you, Ryobi is by far the best choice. DeWalt coming in a hard second there. Makita coming in just after that. That's your top three. Ryobi, DeWalt, Makita. That's how I'm going to have them. Send the Sharpay back. It's a best in show reference. Anyway, Hart's surprising. Look at that. Hart is right up in there at number 5. I was stunned to see them rise that high. Milwaukee is still in the running, but the cost on Milwaukee, the availability on Milwaukee, missing out in some of the key areas with Milwaukee, that hurt them. Cobalt's right there neck and neck with them. Metabo HPT's in there neck and neck. Anyway, let me know what you think down there. What do you like about the scoring system? What do you not like about it? Now, here's the other thing I need to talk about. We talked about who Einhell is. So Einhell is a German company. Most of their tools are made in China, much like Stanley Black & Decker. They're designed here. They're made in China. Same with Einhell. This is a German company. I thought it was just another Amazon brand. Turns out they made a deal with, of all people, Sanjo. When I looked into it, I thought they were just a Sanjo brand because Sanjo sells them, but they're kind of obscure on their site, and they have other power tool equipment. So that seemed really weird. Now, of course, as I said, I'd seen them on Amazon, a lot of stuff there on Amazon, and I just thought, well, it's just some weird company name somebody came up with. But no, this company's been around for a while. They've got a lot of stuff out there. Look at this. When we go back to the Einhell page, you get to see some of the photos. Look at, there's some Germans for you. They had a tool lineup here before. They had the picture of their entire tool lineup. It was pretty epic. They have a big tool lineup, so hopefully we'll see even more here in the States. That said, it looks like the partnership, their love affair with Sanjo is falling apart because Sanjo shop deep discounts. Guys and gals, if you want to consider Einhell, this is insane. Check this out. So we got clearance on almost all of this, and some of these you see it says a free gift. That free gift is a battery and a charger. This is a cordless recip tool here, recip saw. How much is the cheapest cordless recip saw? It's like $40, $50, $70. $30, and you get a battery and you get a charger. Now, they do have shipping on orders less than $100, and you're ordering directly from Sanjo. I'm not an affiliate. I don't get a kickback or anything from them. But oh my gosh, I almost bought everything here. Look at this. They've got the vac. They've got a chainsaw. They've got a brushless drill driver. Look at it. And again, $40 for a full-size brushless drill driver, and you're getting the battery, and you're getting the charger. They've got the hedger. They've got the one-hand recip. Look at that. I love that. 360 rotation. We've got grinders, polishers, more batteries. But look at these, all these ones with the gift. You're getting the free battery and the charger. We got a buffer. We got a multi-tool. These don't have the free gift here. But look at $10 for a job site blower. $10. $12 for the hand vac, $16.76 for the multi-tool, $14.06 for the sander, $18 for the grinder, $15 for the blower, $18 for the jigsaw. If you're looking for a budget tool lineup to get into, they got a miter saw, folks. A miter saw for $80, a cordless miter saw, and you get the battery and you get the charger. Do I have to spell it out for you? Now, here's one of the things. Look at this. Hold on, let me talk about this. The patio grout cleaner. They've got this. They've got a scrubber. A bunch of those new tools that Ryobi just came out with. That we've come out with these tools you've been asking for. Einhell's had these tools. That's ridiculous. All right, I will put a link to this page down below. You can check it out. That said, if you do buy this, buyer beware, because they are real closeouts. No returns or exchanges, not eligible for warranty. So if you're buying that, that is all you. Looks like a pretty nifty little saw, I do have to say. I'm tempted to get it myself, but I'm drowning in miter saws. Anyway, but real quick, let's go back to the spreadsheet. I was going to show you how to use this real quick. So everything's got a point system over here. And if the tool is available, right in front of each category here, there's a 1. What happens is the formula says, take this cell times the point value times whether it has it or not there, and then add it to its column. So if you want to change this to, if you say the impact driver is worth more, you can say it's 60 point. That affects it across the board, okay? You don't want to change this number unless you think the bear got it wrong and that item is either available or not available. So leave that one alone. Anyway, come down here, multi-tools, maybe you think the multi-tool is not as important, maybe you think the heat gun's more important, you can change those all the way down. You can change the value on all of these. Now, as far as the multipliers, the multiplier, you have to go into each cell and change it. If you think that Ryobi has a better brushless game and they deserve a higher score, 1.2, you can make it 2 if you want. That's going to really put them way out ahead, just so you know. Availability, multiplier, all that you can change. And then the X factor. If you want to change this and create something else, this is just a blank formula holding spot for you, so you can add in your own X factor thing. As far as ranking, once you change these, what you need to do is you need to select all of these. If you don't select just the number, because they'll change the number and then these will stay the same, and then you'll be really confused, just terribly confused. But go over here, select both columns, and then you go up to data, you go to sort range, and you go to advanced range options. Here you're going to always choose the second column that's available, because that's the one with the numbers. You're going to sort by B, and then you can sort, if you want from the top down, it's Z to A. If you change it from the bottom down, you're going to get that. But no, we want to change it the other way, so we're going to sort it that way. And that's how you change, and you have to do that for each one of these. So if you change it and it changes across the board, you have to go through and change all of them. I did something to the brushless multiplier here. Don't worry, I will fix that and figure out why that's showing up as 0. I screwed with something there. Anyway, that's how you do that. I hope that answers all the questions for you. I hope I've answered all your questions on everything, really. Let's see, is there anything else out there that the bear missed? Oh my gosh. Anyway, a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring the video. This is the first time sponsoring on the channel. Hopefully we'll see a lot more of that. I'm a big fan of the product and what they do and what they allow people to do with it. Anyway, don't forget also, wait, I almost forgot. Don't forget to check out, for those of you who are still here, if you waited through all of this, December 19th, we got the live stream giveaway. It's going to be the biggest tool giveaway here on YouTube. We got metric tons of tools and fun and all sorts of stuff that we're going to be giving away. The list right now, oh my gosh, such a list. We've got Harbor Freight, Lippert, WorkPro, Through Night, Greenworks. We got Ulsa Tools. We've got Wright Tools. We've got Pit Boss. Anycubic is giving away a 3D printer. Gear Wrench, Flex, Lowe's, Liberton, Kaizen, Klein, Snapfresh, and more. On top of that, I'm also going to be digging into my box of goodies and giving away some made in the USA vintage hand tools. Who knows what those things are worth? Anyway, we hope to see you there. Check it out. Also, don't forget to chomp the old like button, smash that subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.